Welcome everyone to another edition of Ari Sky Release video blog. I'm Ari Sky. So today I want to talk to you about a couple things. First of all, I won't allow it and I'll sue your ass. Now, on to a few things. Last night, me and Chloe had a date, and Chloe loved the burgers she had. She had a fireman burger and a couple beers. Now, I think she had one beer. And I basically went ahead and I was just surprised because she was talking about trying 151 rum. I got her on 151 rum. And let me tell you, I want to tell you what happened to me yesterday, okay? So I went to the hospital yesterday morning. I told Chloe, hello, Michelle. I went with Chloe. To dinner. But anyways, I went to the hospital, and I went there, and I had 3 DMHPs, basically. My psychiatrist, another person that was my husband's, and a guy. And they had to sit there and talk to me about my mental stability. And they said, oh, well, this, and this, And then the doctor finally came in after an hour, and he says, what's your problem? And I tell him, he says, oh, it sounds like a concussion. Well, as you all know, Chloe and I had some problems, and I tried to protect her by not having her do something stupid. And instead, Chloe can confirm this, and it's not a crime or violation for me to say this, but Chloe wanted to go and kill the neighbors. I held her back, but I went unconscious. When I came to, Chloe basically says, I'm out of here. I'm not going to jail. No, she left. And so, Monday morning onwards, I started going downhill. Hold on. So, Michelle asked me, what do you think about the opinion of others about transsexuals? I'll get to that in a bit. So what happened was, I went there, and they did a CAT scan. Found out I basically have an extreme severe case of a concussion. So Chloe's basically going to be either helping me pay a helper to clean this place because I have to be bedridden for probably the next month or two, and I got to be wheelchair bound because of it. Now, Chloe's not at fault at all, And so what happened was I went there, and Chloe, when I came home, Chloe was so what happened was Chloe gave me the biggest hug and said, I'm sorry, I'll pull my own weight, I'll get things done. So last night, Chloe was kind of complaining about no internet. And I was like, well, I can't pay it Monday. Well, I was going to do it that day, but, I only had dilation 3 times, and I got home, and I spent some time with Chloe, and after doing dip with her, I decided to go and do some other stuff. Well, anyways, what happened was we decided to go to dinner. Well, Chloe thought we were going to Subway. She can still take me to Subway today unless she doesn't want to go to Subway. But I spent $60 for a meal. I had a couple beers. The Blueberry House beer was great. So anyways, we got done, and, I had 3 DCRs, designated crisis responders. They thought Rita's going to kill herself. Rita's going to do this. Rita's going to do that. And in the end, Rita wasn't going to do anything of the sort. That they were afraid, yes. So, anyways, I got to check my messages. So, anyway, so I took her to dinner. We had a nice dinner. We went over to Walmart and I picked up brats. Should have waited till our food stamps came in because, to pay for them. But I bought 36 brats, which means tonight we're going to be barbecuing. Or Chloe's going to be barbecuing. So we got to get some charcoal and some lighter fluid and, etc. Now, I was just asking my sister, Lexi, Tara J, and my sister Tara J, and Lexi, they're both beautiful trans women, about this whole ordeal. Now, let me read you what this says. This came back from a discharge transfer summary form from a mental place Chloe's supposed to go to continue cash assistance. It says, Chloe identifies as a transgendered male to female. Chloe was intersex. Uses female pronouns, has a diagnosis, which is bullshit. Even my psychiatrist, who's going to medicated manage her, said it's bullshit. A borderline personality disorder. And has 3 admits to a psychiatric hospitals within the year. She has a history of failed relationships, fear of abandonment. I have fear of abandonment. Self-harming behavior. I have self-harming behavior. Mood instability. Chloe knows I have mood instability. And anger issues, which I do. Difficulty maintaining cleanliness and employment. Yes, all is true. I have problems with other issues too. What happened was, and I'll continue. I just need to see. So, all right. So then it basically states, has made threats to medical professionals, true. Threats against our POTUS, true. And reports of psychologically, physically, mentally, physically, and sexually abusing her partner.
It's not true.
I said I was just going to share that. Now, we won't go into details. Barriers to goals include lack of social support, history of psychiatric hospitalizations ×3, unemployment, as well as history of suicide and ideation attempts. Now, here's what it says. I love my dear family, Tara J and Lexi. They're sweet people. And so, even though Chloe has a problem with it, it says here. Now, if Chloe's mom's listening to this, I'm not going to basically go into details, but it says, failure to return without notification, unable to contact. Yeah, well, our phone's broken. Then it says legal status, probation, parole. And then it says, Chloe was recently released from jail after serving time for parole violation. Can't confirm or deny it. Now, there are certain people out there in the internet spectrum that knows more than I do. Chloe's mom knows something. Maybe you should email me a nice email and just explain it, because I'm in the dark. And then it says, Chloe is to follow up with her primary care physician for medical and mental health needs and not go through our agency unless she meets the qualifications. Then it says she is to abide by her probation rulings and check in with her parole officer. Now, talking to a friend of mine, because he's into the criminal stuff, he said, and I quote, unless Chloe served prison time, something happened. Chloe, here's the deal, okay? Now, we already know it says here about sexual, mental, and physical assaults and blah, blah, blah. Now, when I was talking to Chloe today, I basically checked on the protection order. It's been dissolved. You can't find the case number and you can't find the names associated with it. But the police keep taking pictures. Now, I was told if there was a parole violation in King County, the county we're living in, they wouldn't be looking for her. Now, here's the other thing. It could be the hospital put this in there for whatever reason. I mean, parole violation. Now, this morning, Chloe asked me to go through the medical records again for the 3 hospitalizations, the place in Seattle, the place in the shelter refuses to give any information on Chloe. Refuses. So we got to request the record from this place because it says Chloe was recently released from jail after serving time for a parole violation. Now, the funny thing is about this whole ordeal is and I just asked my adopted sister, Lexi, about this, Tara J. Apparently, and we're not going to go badmouth Tara J on this. Tara J made a video basically wanting to expose Chloe. Now, it's all gravy and dandy, but I'm in the dark because it doesn't make sense. She is to abide by her probation rulings and check in with her parole officer. Now, when we got the letter, Chloe and I talked about it, and I said, Chloe, did you do this? She says, no. So here's the timeline, okay? We're not going to go into all the shit that's happened to me and Chloe. Chloe already is scarred from it, so am I. So she goes into Harborview. Then she goes to the mental hospital. Now, the 13th and the 14th, her records basically stated, and I quote, hold on. There. Records stated that she went in there. Now, she had a visitor the 13th and the 14th. I've called the hospital. They won't basically tell us who visited Chloe. Could have been a detective, could be the U.S. Secret Service, could be the FBI, could be the NSA, could be the Secret Service, could be the U.S. Marshals. No one knows. Now, hold on. Now, again, here's the timeline. From the 10th to the 20th, Chloe was in a mental hospital, 10 days. They had to re-up her for an additional 4 days or release her. Now, she could have went to court and was involuntarily committed under the less restrictive alternative, but it's not here. It just says probation parole. Now, the timeline says when they discharged her, so it was on 13th and 14th, she had visitors. Could be her mom for all we know. Your mom visit you?
No.
There you go. See? So, did anyone visit you?
No.
Don't get angry. I'm
doing
doing a video. She's getting combative. So, the timeline says when she was discharged, and this is something that Chloe and I were talking about the other day, and I can't confirm or deny, and Chloe told me that someone gave her an address to go to the King County Superior Court on the second floor near the homeless shelter. No one knows what happened. Now, I love Chloe dearly. From what I understand is no one knows what's happening. So Chloe got this saying her case was closed. And serving jail time. Now, here's the thing. Chloe basically went to the homeless shelter at like 1 p.m. on discharge day. And after that, she was in the homeless shelter for a long period of time. Now, apparently, between Chloe and this thing, we know the U.S. Secret Service, and I'm not going to lie, was investigating her. Now, we got a call from the U.S. Secret Service. I was in the mental hospital, so I had to call as soon as I got out, and they basically needed collateral information, and they said I couldn't, pretty much deny the collateral information, so I gave everything. Now, the whole story goes that where's she? Oh, great. Damn it. Knock it off.
What is it?
I don't know. I'm doing a freaking video yet again. Hold on. Sorry. That's fine. All right. So anyways, neighbor came by. So what happened was Chloe basically, if something happened, Chloe's mom knows, Chloe knows, and I don't know. Now, apparently, and this is just what I'm thinking hypothetically, and we're not going to point fingers to anyone because I don't slander people. Kara J and Lexi knows. Now, Lexi basically stated in a comment recently, because I asked her about the whole things, and she says, first, I have not chosen to take a side in any way, shape, or form, just like Switzerland in World War II. Then I said this, and she says, if that's what the paperwork says, then that's what happened. Problem is, and then she says, okay, well, then if that's what it says, then it's obviously what the mental hospital said has on the records. Now, the mental hospital has something, and we don't. So the question is, who's telling the truth? The mental clinic or Chloe? And I believe Chloe. But the thing is like I said, no one truly knows. Now, as you all know, I had a mental breakdown recently and was trying to get back into the mental hospital I went to. And the people up there told me just basically to kill myself because I don't have the insurance like Chloe. But between the DCR in this county, the DCR in King County, they've been trying to get her involuntary committed. Now, the question is, on this report, let's just read it again. Chloe was released from jail after serving time for a parole violation. Now, I checked all the mental hospital records in Arizona, clean. I checked all the mental records and everything in Ohio, clean. Now, what is it that Chloe did? Now, here's the thing that Chloe, she's busy on her own laptop. She's in her own little la-la land. And I would love to have Chloe come on video here and talk about the timeline. When she was discharged, she was suicidal in the shelter. Now, the shelter basically doesn't want to give the paperwork to why Chloe, for her lawyer. We basically used the lawyer. We used another lawyer. We used a third lawyer. Those records, they're not giving. Now, we can't just go and give this discharge summary to her lawyer for Social Security when it says probation parole. Question is, what type of probation parole was Chloe on? None that I can see from every point of view. Now, So the point being is what happened, So here's the timeline. She gets out of the mental hospital. She's been forced to go to a place in Seattle for counseling. I just checked those records because Chloe wanted to read it. We both looked at it and didn't say anything about me, anything about her, and anything about this. Just talked about her diagnosis. And in the diagnosis notes, it says that they don't think Chloe has borderline personality. It's completely bullshit. Now, here it says borderline personality, but it says she has to abide by her probation rulings and check in with her parole officer. So, question is, did she get probation parole by federal law, or was it state law? No one knows, Now, let me tell you a story. When I was complaining about the problems, and I had 3 DCRs on the 24th of May, May 24th, I think it was. They said they wanted Chloe in for an appointment for an interview for involuntary. They didn't tell me why. I had a police officer basically writing down so much information. He was going to go report it to government agencies. I don't know what happened. Okay, so if you're watching this, Mom, I'm sorry. I can't say anything more because I don't know everything. Now, when we got this, it basically stated, again, Chloe was released after jail after serving a probation violation. What probation did she serve? Now, talking to my friend who's been in and out of the jails for over 10 years for, pill popping and drugs and everything else, he said, could be a restraining order violation, more likely not, because they would have let me know. Could have been something else, but we've checked Ohio, we've checked West Virginia. We've checked Pennsylvania. We checked Arizona. We checked California. Nothing. So Chloe's sitting here thinking, what the hell gives, you know? And again, and I'm just saying this, and Chloe's not going to interject it again, but it says, as reports of psychologically, physically, and mentally abusing her partner, as well as the other thing, which we won't go into detail. Now, Mom says, I abused Chloe, but it basically states that that's not true by this record. So, you know, she is to abide by her probation rulings and check in with her parole officer. Chloe said, what parole officer? Now, Chloe had a phone, but the government tapped it, so she disassembled the whole damn thing and threw the SIM card in the toilet. Plain and simple. I was there when I saw it one night when she was enjoying her rum and being happy-go-lucky drunk. Now, the only way I could see this stuff happening is everything. Now, I've spent numerous amounts of money in the last 3 months. So is the lawyer, checking for warrants, checking for this. Monday, I got to let him know about this whole parole violation, probation. Now, as you all know, the only ones that know something is the mental health people or the courts in King County. Now, we're not in King County, okay? Clear and state. Now, I don't know what's going on. Now, if anyone has any information, I ask you to post it in the comments below or email me or even send me a Facebook Messenger because I'd like to know if, Mom, you're watching this, maybe you can shine some light on the subject because this does not make sense, you know. Probation, parole. Now, everything in the timeline says from the time until she came back home, she was in a homeless shelter. They were going to throw her out on streets and let her basically live homeless. Homeless shelter knows something. This mental health place knows something. Federal or state, no one knows. And now if Chloe knows something, she's hiding it from me, but I don't think she'd be hiding it from me, you know. So, you know, Chloe's just as stumped. This morning I basically said, hey, let's see what this is. And it said it. She says, I don't know what the hell this agency's doing. Are they trying to screw with my Social Security application? Are they trying to get me put in prison? Are they trying to do this? She doesn't know. I mean, I checked her mental hospital records in Arizona. She's been hospitalized in Arizona. She's been hospitalized in California. We're waiting for those records. Hospitalized in Pennsylvania and hospitalized in apparently West Virginia and Ohio. We don't have all the records. Ohio didn't know she was hospitalized in Arizona or the other places. Chloe kept that to herself. But if Chloe is keeping stuff to herself, then something ain't right because it was released from jail after serving time for a parole violation. Now, parole meaning Chloe served prison time. We don't know. Now, all I know is Chloe basically told me the hospital and the homeless shelter told her to go to the Superior Courthouse for some reason. We don't know. We know the police out there has been taking pictures of Chloe, but never came to our door except once. And that was the sliding door right there with the blanket for the Hello Kitty or towel, basically talking to her about suicide. That was it. Now, if there is a warrant in King County, we don't know about it, okay? Now, this is the first I've heard about this, and it kind of stumps me. Now, about our meal. We had a great meal. Chloe paid her part of the rent. She still has to pay the electricity and the internet. The internet was big this month. It was $209. So it's clear. The electricity is still due, and that's probably going to be paid next month because I can't juggle everything because I bought 36 brats. I bought buns. I bought everything for the barbecue, the 5th and the 6th. And the 7th, we might have another barbecue with my aunt. So Chloe and I are basically stumped of what happened. Plain and simple. Now, it's almost time for me to go to Walmart, but I thought I would share this information with you all because, frankly, we don't know what's happening. Now, as the neighbor said, the police in this county wanted her, or the sheriff, they would have basically done something. Now, I'm going to say this out of love for Lexi and Tara J. I love you both sisters. But before a video is taken down, you can actually Google a search of, and I'm just going to say this, no offense to you, Chloe, okay? King County transgendered rapist. And it goes to a video that was removed for bullying and other issues, you know, and it's down. And basically, you know, there was information talking about King County, but no one knows what happened. Now, if Chloe knows something, that's fine. If Tara J knows something, let me know. If Chloe's mom knows something, let me know. As I said, Lexi, as a sweetheart, basically stated, if the paper says it, the paper says it's true. Chloe's hiding something. Plain and simple. Now, I love everyone's input. I'm just trying to put all the pieces together, and I can't figure it out because, you know, when it comes to all these things, the psychiatrist basically said nothing's going to happen to Chloe. Nothing at all. Same with the mental hospital psychiatrist I went through. But she did have visitors the 13th and 14th, but it wasn't on the visitor sheet. It just basically put in the time slot. And Chloe's thinking, what visitors? I didn't have visitors. So Chloe's stumped, I'm stumped, her lawyer's going to be stumped, her other lawyers are going to be. My lawyer basically is looking into it going, if this paper's true, then someone's hiding something. Plain and simple. So, anyway, so Chloe last night, being a sweetheart, went out and bought me 2 video games to start playing. She wants me to be bedridden. Now, Chloe is basically pondering, toying with the idea. Remember, that's my favorite word. To pay a neighbor of mine who has no job, who wants us to help him get on disability, to help clean this place up. We have 3 days to get this place spotless for my sisters I haven't seen in 30 years. Now, I don't know everything, but this basically piece of paper is basically bothering me because I'm no win because, you know, was Chloe court ordered by the criminal courts to be on medication for life? Was she involuntarily committed through that? She didn't complete her treatment? All we know is, from what I understand from Chloe's mom, and I'm not going to badmouth her. I'm done badmouthing her. We had a nice chat last night, me and Chloe at dinner. And I may not like Chloe's mom. Chloe's mom might have more answers than I. But all her medical records say that she's done the abuse to me. And now I've been accused of abuse, but even my medical record says Chloe abused me. But to say basically Chloe was released from jail after serving time for parole violation makes you wonder. She has no phone. How is she going to call the parole officer? She doesn't even know anything what's going on. And then it says she also abides by her probation rulings and checking with her parole officer. What parole officer? So Monday, we're going to go and call and get records. Friday, we're going to go there and basically demand the records. And we're going to get to the answers that we need before we continue with figuring out what's going on. Now, as Lexi said, she's not going to take sides. I wouldn't either, but I just thought Lexi and Tara J would have more answers and might be able to shine some light on what they know because I'm in the dark with everything. Now, I know Tara J and Lexi is being neutral, but Tara J thinks things basically were dropped. They weren't. Problem is I know in this county that they would have picked her up by now. So whatever happened, I'll never know. So I'm going to play my game tonight when I get back from Walmart. Seems Chloe's buying me dinner tonight. Thank you, Chloe. I don't mind a sub sandwich. I think they're $4.99. There's a special, so I'll get a cold cut combo. I like turkey, chicken, ham anyways. But the main thing is I thank Chloe for the meal. Now, with everyone else, you know, like I said, I spent $60. Chloe, after drinking half a beer, 1 shot of 151 rum, and then turning around and drinking the rest of her beer, she was like this. I was like, hey, I'm going to get hit by a car. She's like, I mean, swerving in and out. And it was just funny, you know. She's like, I'm drunk. But bottom line is, you know, Lexi, if you're watching this, sweetheart, Tara J, please post comments down below. I'm not going to delete them, but I would like to know your input on what's going on because frankly, it seems you two have more answers than I do. And, you know, like I said, police came in on the first week of May wanting to talk to her about suicidal and homicidal ideation. She said no. That was the night the phone was broken. And after that, no police. We just been had our photo taken. Now, yesterday, as I said, I had 3 DCRs. My psychiatrist, my husband's psychiatrist, psychologist, therapist, and another guy. And they were trying to say Chloe did the right thing by leaving instead of staying here because I was unconscious. When Chloe got me up and on the bed, she's like, I'm leaving. And I hit this chair. Let me show you the chair. Right there, that blue chair. You see where the handle is, right? My backpack. I hit that so much on force that I basically went unconscious. Now, I have severe concussion, and I had a CAT scan yesterday. I had a temporary MRI. You know, they sped everything up so I can get out by 12:30 so I can get home. Chloe basically was like, I'm so sorry, you know, and it wasn't Chloe's fault. Chloe was angry. And I'll explain this to anyone watching this. Because 2 neighbors in our building calls Chloe a dude in a dress. Chloe doesn't take that well. All right? So,
I've been through hell transitioning.
Yeah, exactly. She's been through hell with transitioning, so have I. But, you know, by the way, I feel really clean today. I've been with my depression, you know, and I'll explain my depression today. I've been depressed because, frankly, I'm in the dark on everything. I mean, I got a DCR basically in this county wanting to commit her, but they haven't taken any actions. We got King County DCRs trying to call before the phone was broken, wanting to commit her and get her back to King County. They're also waiting for her to go back to Harborview so she can be placed in Eastern or Western. So all this, and yet, Chloe was recently released from jail after serving time for a parole violation. What parole violation? I don't know anything. She is to abide by her probation rulings and check in with her parole officer. So, there you have it. So, I'm going out to the Walmart to go get some charcoal, some lighter fluid, some shaving cream, some dish soap, some shampoo and conditioner, and then we're set for the month on the supplies, except for food.
Too.
Well, yeah, we got to get razor blades. I've been meaning to get some, and I stretch mine out, but, you know. So I just wanted to say that to you all, that I am totally and thoroughly stumped with it, you know. So anyways, Lexi is a sweetheart, so I'm not going to challenge Lexi on anything. And I'm not challenging Tara J either. I'm just saying, if you guys got some information, feel free to email me or send it by Facebook Messenger so I can actually look it over. Or if you can find a way to not slander Chloe's legal name, post it on a video. I'd like to know myself, you know. Because frankly, this basically stumps me that, you know. So I'm going to play a game when I get back. I'm going to relax. I'm going to rest. I got to meet up with someone this evening. The guy I'm hiring to clean my place before my sister comes. One of the things we also got to buy is a pumice stone, you know. And by the way, this made me laugh. Difficulty maintaining cleanliness in apartment and employment and cleanliness of herself. Last time she took a bath a couple weeks ago was 8 days. Recently, she's had 3 showers and 2 baths since then, so she's clean. Me, I've been depressed, and that's because, you know, one thing is the place is dirty, you know, and I'm going to have to start paying someone to do it because right now I've been ordered to be bedridden for a month or 2, and if I have to go out, Chloe's got to push me in a wheelchair, so all in all, it's not a nice life right now, but I'm alive. And, you know, with CAT scan, MRI, etc., they know what's going on. So with that said, you know, you have any insights, let me know. I got to watch some video game reviews soon. That's why I'm happy I got my internet back. I'm going to try out my new game tonight and watch reviews. See the tutorial and how to get things moving along. Thank you, Chloe, for the video games. The rest of you, you know, we'll figure it out. Now, you know, by Friday, we should have some answers of why she had a parole violation. Now like I said, I've checked many background check places, paid real money this month again. It doesn't come back to anything in Washington State. So, if you guys got something, let me know. And hold some fun for the whole family. And thanks for watching Buttercups.